Probably cooling us off a bit, Danielle, from the heat we saw this morning.
Yes, absolutely, you guys. We were actually in the low 80s over the weekend. It felt pretty good. But now looking ahead toward the work week, we're dialing up at these temperatures. We're going to be back to the mid to upper 80s, possibly flirting with some 90s out there, especially off to the eastern plains, already in the 90s this afternoon in Ray as well as Lamar. Some 70s, low 80s through the high country and close to 90 in Grand Junction. We have a ridge of high pressure that's setting up shop, and that's going to bring us the heat for the next few days. 86 officially out of DIA today, but you can see we've stayed in the 80s with the exception of last Friday. 64. Wasn't that something? As we look outside right now, you can see a couple of storms in the distance. These are high base storms, so a lot of this is just virga. That's rain that evaporates before it actually hits the surface. It just sends out some gusty winds, so that's what a lot of folks are dealing with this evening. Then watching the storms brewing across Colorado's high country as well as here for the Front Range. Just a few isolated ones, and they should be winding down within the next couple of hours. Tonight we're left with partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will cool into the upper 50s for us. We'll drop off into the mid to upper 50s off to the eastern plains too. Some 30s around Gunnison over to Leadville, 40s up in Steamboat. And looking at the futurecast again, the rest of the evening hours, those showers really wind down once the sun fades. And then by 11 p.m. we're looking at clearing skies statewide. Should be a nice start to the day. Few clouds hugging the I-25 corridor. A couple of light showers out there for the northern mountains. Otherwise, we'll get a brief break midday to 3 o'clock. Still quiet here for the urban corridor, but those storms starting to fire up in the mountains. Nothing too terribly organized by any means, and I'm not expecting to see much in the way of severe storms. 6, 7 o'clock, you might find one or two on the drive home up and down I-25, a few up in the mountains around the Vail Valley. Otherwise, by 11 o'clock or so, most of the action is long gone. There's that ridge of high pressure. Again, still a little bit of moisture underneath it, and that's what's sneaking into the state. You can see an area of low pressure that's coming in across the California coastline by the middle of the work week. This is on Wednesday. It pushes onshore. High pressure still around for us, so that's going to help bring us the heat, but we do have a little bit of a cool off coming our way because of that storm. Temps tomorrow back to the mid to upper 80s around here. Again, 1 or 2 gusty thunderstorms. That really is going to be about it. We'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s in northern Colorado, handful of 90s around Springfield and Lamar, 60s in Nederland over to Winter Park and Frisco too, and then we'll continue lather, rinse, repeat for the next couple of days. As that storm system gets closer on Friday, it will help to drop our temps back to the lower 80s, better chance of storms with upper 70s on tap to kick off the weekend.